Hello, I'm Jeff Gold, and thank you so much for joining us today on this very special Maverick Minute. Our guest today is Mr. Jabin Moore, and Jabin was recently elected as president of our student government, and of course, that makes you our student regent for the year. Congratulations, and thanks so much for giving us a few minutes of your time today.
Thank you so much. I'm super honored to be here.
Well, I'm glad you are, and I'm really honored to have an opportunity to work with you. You know, I'm sure I'm curious, and I'm sure members of the audience are going to be curious as well. Why would you want to do this? You know, this is a really tumultuous time in the history of higher education. It's a great time in the history of UNO as we continue on our upward journey. But, you know, you must have had a magic moment when you woke up and said, you know, today I'm going to try to do this. And obviously you had to participate in an election and go through all the campaigning and whatever. And you're successful, and congratulations. But why you and why now?
Yeah, it didn't happen in just one moment. It started my freshman year when I first got involved in the Freshman Leadership Council, and continuing to work my way up in student government and continuing to look for leadership opportunities and being granted those opportunities and reaching my last year and having the opportunity to pursue the president and regent position. It was just kind of like a you've come this far in your career so far, and so why not look for the next thing?
So it sort of seemed like a natural next step to you in some regards. And so as you think about your first meeting coming up in the not-so-distant future, just a couple of weeks from now, I would imagine, do you have any thoughts going into that? Do you have some things that you might want to accomplish this year as a student regent, as the president of our student government?
Yeah, so our original initiatives, of course, they're going to remain the same. They're just going to be changed a little bit. But the main thing is reassuring people that, you know, even though we've gone through a very unprecedented time, we'll come out of it, and we're not going back to normal, but we're creating a new normal. And so I think that's the main thing, is reassuring people. And the main thing that we'll be focusing on is making sure that students can still be engaged, no matter how it might be. It might not be on campus in person.
Hopefully will be, though.
Well, yeah, of course. But however we may navigate that experience, and making sure that the incoming students have the same experience that we've had in the past, and that they're still able to be engaged and feel like they're a part of the campus community. So,
you know, Jabin, I'm really pleased to hear that, because I think that the changes that we've gone through with this COVID-19 pandemic are going to create a platform of change that's really been unprecedented. Just like the medical conditions have been unprecedented, the spread of the disease has been pretty much unprecedented, at least since 100 years ago. So are the opportunities. There are so many lessons that can be learned, but the engagement of our students at this time is going to be absolutely key, because it's the student voices with our faculty and our staff and the community members, our alumni. You know, there are a lot of different voices that form the chorus that provide the feedback, that provide the beautiful music that makes our future positive. But the student voice is particularly important to us, and having you be the leader of that student voice is going to be key. So what are you hearing from your fellow students? You know, I'm sure that they're feeling greatly stressed and concerned about their futures individually, their futures as a student, their families' issues. What types of things are you hearing these days?
So we know that students are going to have a lot of financial barriers coming back to campus, and the thing that I'm going to be focusing on is inclusion and equity. And I think a lot of students hear those words and feel like that's kind of a exclusive word pertaining to only certain groups, but it's really pertaining to everyone. And so I think students are really going to be worried about how they're going to come back to campus and how they're going to manage their finances, whether that's buying a a parking pass or worried about tickets and things like that. And so, like, how we're going
You got to make tickets go away. Right?
Yeah,
That's
right,
the plan.
exactly. And so,
Or at least forgiveness.
right. So I think that's going to be one of the main things that I'll focus on, because that's the main pain point for students. And so making sure that we have equitable opportunities to purchase the parking pass, and then also to just manage the whole parking situation. So.
Well, parking is certainly something that is of concern, but as you may know, we just recently announced 5 new scholarship programs in addition to the Nebraska Promise program.
And I was super
And they are just incredible for what it's going to mean to the first generation UNO students who, you know, as you well know, over half of our students are first generation students. This is going to mean incredible things to their access and the affordability of their education.
Right.
Well, Jabin, I want you to know that we're in partnership, and we're going to do this together, and the student voice is going to be front and center in all of the decision making we're going to have. I want to take this moment to congratulate you again, to thank you for your willingness to serve, and I look forward to our first Board of Regents meeting together.
Yes, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you as well.
Thanks again, and thank you for joining us today on this Maverick Minute.